What's going on, YouTube? There's a lot of trepidation when it comes to cleaning your engine, but I'm here to tell you that it can be done easily and safely. You might want to wash away salt if you live by the ocean, or clean away pollen that's accumulated, or you might be selling your car, in which case you should definitely wash your engine as it'll show much better and net you more money. So the main idea behind this video is to explain how to do this as safely as possible for the car. As you can see, this engine bay is not too dirty, but it has accumulated a lot of pollen and it's starting to get a greasy sheen all over. Even if your engine is much dirtier, everything in this video still applies. There's a lot of videos on YouTube on this subject, but the way I do it provides pretty good peace of mind that it's done safely. The first thing you should know is that engines on modern cars are water resistant. Most connectors are water sealed against the water that will enter the engine bay when you're driving through puddles, or the water that may enter through the hood scoop if you have one. So it is safe overall as it is, but we are going even further and removing any possibility of getting water where it shouldn't be. To that end, I'm going to show you how I do it in a way that makes me feel comfortable about not causing an issue. For peace of mind, we want to cover electrical components and connectors and the intake. Modern engines are engineered to be water resistant, but we are taking all reasonable precautions. The battery is safe to get wet. We will clean it with battery cleaner later. I am wrapping all connectors with saran wrap. Depending on your particular car, you may want to cover a fuse box. In this car, it's impossible to get it wet inside, so I'm going to leave it. We're going to cover the alternator and associated connectors to prevent water from possibly damaging the electronics inside. If you have any coil packs or other exposed sensors, relays, or intakes, be sure to cover them up. Every car is different, so a little common sense is required. If in doubt, cover it up. We're also completely covering any exposed electronics units, as you see here. The idea is to prevent possible water intrusion and prevent degreaser from getting into those connectors or electronics. And we are taking great care to ensure the mass airflow sensor is completely covered and water cannot get into the intake. Again, modern cars are very resistant to water, but we're shooting for complete peace of mind. The next step is to ensure all caps are on tight and to give the engine bay one last look to ensure nothing was missed. You definitely don't want water mixed with any of your fluids. Take this opportunity to double check your work. I generally avoid using cleaners which are not made for automotive application. I've seen videos of people using all kinds of things, from oven cleaners to purple power, and you will find a success story and a nightmare for each. So to avoid a nightmare and do it safely, I stick with the mildest product that will get the job done based on how bad the engine bay looks. I'm using Gunk's Foamy engine cleaner because it's made for light duty applications and it only costs $3 on Amazon. You have to assess how bad your engine bay looks and research an appropriate product for the job. Regardless of what you use, make sure to follow directions and ensure it never dries before being fully rinsed off your engine. If you are not using a cleaner made for automotive use, ensure you know how the chemical will react with the different materials in your engine bay like aluminum or rubber hoses. Let the cleaner work for about 5 minutes or so. Use a soft to medium bristle detailing brush to scrub accessible areas and agitate dirt. A brush with a long handle will allow you to get in between components and lower into the engine compartment. As you do this, do not allow the cleaner to dry. Spray more degreaser as you work if you have to. Use common sense and be thorough. Pay close attention to areas prone to collect oil over time. Be careful around the plastic you put up so that you don't accidentally work one loose. Depending on how bad your engine bay is, you might have to do this step twice. This is also a good time to use the battery cleaner to clean the battery. If you remove the engine cover or other plastic pieces, take care of them now. Use the shower setting on the spray nozzle to thoroughly wash off the degreaser. Although with the proper precautions a pressure washer could be used, I would highly advise against it. You don't want to force pressurized water where it wasn't meant to go. The high pressure is also more likely to work loose the plastic covering the electronics. Play it safe and just use the water hose, and only for as long as it takes to fully remove the degreaser. Also take care not to linger with the water hose over sensitive electronics. I'm using a pet dryer to blow off excess water from crevices. You can also use a leaf blower or even a shop vac. If you don't have any of those, simply use a highly absorbent towel to dry off any pooling water you can reach. We're getting ready to start the engine. The next step is to remove any saran wrap or plastic that was used to cover the electronics. Be thorough here and make sure you don't miss a single one. If you're forgetful, make a list when you put them on so you don't miss one. When you are certain all the plastic was removed, start the engine. We're going to let it come to operating temperature and let it idle for 5 minutes or so. The idea is to evaporate any water remaining. After turning the car off, let it cool off for a little. Then replace the engine cover and anything else that was originally removed. The next step is optional, but if you really want your work to stand out, I would recommend it. I'm using Engine Protector and Shine to bring out the new look out of the engine. The key is to apply a very thin layer. You can also spray as you see me doing, but ensure you're wiping it with a towel. Alternatively, you can just spray directly on the towel and then wipe it on. Done right, it will help the engine stay clean longer, but if it's put on thick and left, it will gunk up in no time. Take your time and hit up all visible surfaces and rubber hoses. We are now done and the engine looks fantastic. It looks exactly as it did the day I bought the car. I hope this video put at ease at least some people who were on the fence about cleaning their engine. It's not going to make your car run faster, but it will put a smile on your face when you open up the hood. Be sure to like this video if it was useful to you. Subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching and take care.